Hello YouTube! Today I'm talking about a classic game that you may not have played due to the fact that it was broken at launch and was only fixed when the game came out 1 year later. This game is known as Batman Arkham City, the second in the Arkham trilogy. Yes, I do not count Origins or Blackgate. You know, that one for the Vita. Ugh. The story revolves around Batman being thrown into Arkham prison, and since I don't want to spoil too much, I'll stop right there. I don't want to give away too much, and I want you to experience the story for yourself and seeing why he's thrown into prison and all that. Unlike Arkham Asylum, the game is open world, which is new to the Batman Arkham universe until, you know, the future games. This was the first game to introduce that. The game is also heavily based around a story. And the story is a fun one at that. If you're a fan of Batman and you're a fan of a good Batman story, then you should pick it up just for that. We meet all your favorite villains, the Joker, Harley Quinn, Two-Face, Hugo Strange, and the Penguin, and a couple more that I won't mention. So before jumping into the mechanics, let's talk about the port. It's an old game, and so the settings can't be changed without relaunching the game, which I won't hold against it, but it is something worth noting. Also, I have a DX12 card, the R9 380. And yet, firstly, I can't play this game on max settings, nor can I turn on DX11 features. My graphics card was made in 2015, keep in mind, and the game was made in 2011. Don't get me wrong, medium to high, this game looks better than it did on PS3 and 360, and hell, even better than it is on Return to Arkham, the cash grab that console players are no doubt going to buy, one of the pros of PC. We don't need remasters, we just turn up the graphics and it still looks better than your optimized remaster. Meaning right out of the way, I simply can't understand why the game runs like crap. If you know, let me know. Maybe I can fix it, but I still get above 60 FPS, so I'm fine. Above, I stay at 60, the game is locked to 60. I have finished the main plot of the game and most of the side quests. The game has a lot of them, and I mean that in the best and worst ways possible. You may not understand, but just hear me out on this. There are some genuinely interesting side missions. I don't want to ruin it, but what I will say is most of the missions leave you wanting more, and sadly you never get more. Some of the missions have anticlimactic endings. After spending an hour trying to get to the end of one, it didn't even let me fight the final boss, rather just took him down in a cutscene. The fighting in the game is amazing. We have all heard the praises of the Arkham games, the satisfaction you feel when you punch someone. Satisfaction. And a counter move, and countering a move successfully, you feel more satisfaction. It just goes hand in hand. And since you are the Cape Crusader, you can jump around the room like a heavyweight ballerina, doing backflips and kicking people in the face. There's no doubt about it. The combat is by far the best part of the game, as is the only reason you will be spending a lot of time in the open world. Speaking of which, the open world has goons everywhere waiting for you to beat them up. You can kill them, he doesn't kill, but you get the idea. Stealthily or just create a mosh pit. But for goons with guns, you probably are better off stealthily, unless you get one of the right upgrades. Speaking of which, upgrades are a thing that you can acquire by leveling up, and it lets you choose what you want, from boring things like health and armor upgrades, yes, beneficial but not interesting, to more interesting things like sonic batarangs and being able to use your grapple hook to disarm criminals' guns. My least favorite part of the game would be by far the Riddler trophies. However, this is simply because I'm not one to be a completionist or 100% games. However, if you are, this game is for you. There are so many Riddler trophies, with most of them having interesting puzzles, but some of them are just straight up frustrating. I'll just let you figure those ones out. You can also play as Catwoman, as she has her own missions, and once the game is ended, you can play with her in the free roam. When she is more agile character than compared to Batman, despite the ballerina Batman already is. Batman, as mentioned before, has a whole host of gadgets waiting to be used, from freeze grenades to remote control batarangs. You can use all these gadgets to beat up goons on the streets of Arkham City. The city is pretty big, however, I really only roam in it when I need to do a side mission or want to fight some goons on the road or on the rooftops. But other than that, the city is pretty much lackluster. If you really want to test out your fighting skills, then you might want to just do the Riddler challenges to test out your stealth and fighting skills. The great thing is you can also play as Robin and Nightwing, and they fight completely differently to Batman and Catwoman. This adds to a lot of variety to the game. However, in the vanilla game, you can't free roam as either one. But with the power of mods, I got it to work. But this does require a new save. Thank you, motorbike outside. And since when you play with them both, and Batman doesn't have any armor at the start, fighting a lot of thugs is nearly impossible, making the game challenging for sure, but maybe a little bit too frustrating as well. If you can see that as a pro or a con, but it's out there now. What do I think about this game? Is it fun? Is it worth your money? In 2016, this game still holds up on PC. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. And instead of wasting your money on Return to Arkham, you can just buy it on PC. I bought this game for £2.20 on G2A. Not sponsored. Once again, I don't want to. I'm not sponsored by G2A. I just really like that website. You can go on G2A right now and purchase it. Make sure you have the G2A shield on, and hopefully I have helped you find a brand new game to add to your Steam library. Anyways, this is me signing out. I'm not gonna say my name. This is the Average Reviewer signing out. Have a nice day.